Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone who rule well. And salutations to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. This is another great millstone motivation. And this lesson is going to come straight out of Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness," And basically, that's everyone in the current world, man. Saying death to them that call evil good and good evil. The world is actually flipped upside down. People's mentality, the decline of human morals. So everything that's seen as good in the sight of the Most High is seen as evil. Down on planet Earth. Due to the do what thou wilt spirit that Esau, the elites are pushing out, man. And it's their agenda that everyone perceives the work of the Most High as evil. Well, their own evil deeds, their abominations or abominations that they do, they perceive them as good, because it feels good to them. Feels good to be rebellious, feels good to do witchcraft, feels good to be evil and wicked, and but to them, they take the light for darkness. They think that what we're doing is teaching the law, statutes, commandments, and teaching our heritage, and following and teaching the laws and teaching the judgment of the Most High, that's evil, because the laws of the Most High, the scriptures, aren't something that you can just be free and do whatever you want with. That's something that actually the scriptures put you into to prison, man. Scriptures put your mind into a box, a box that you can't go outside of, and the rest of the world doesn't perceives that as evil, because it doesn't feel good, doesn't feel pleasing, It says that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, and for the bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, they take the bitter, which is America, and they think that's sweet, man. They think it's sweet, especially our people. They think it's sweet being in America, being under bondage under the so-called white man, think that, and they think that coming under the law, statutes, and commandments, which is actually making you sovereign, making you free, is the bitter part, because they can't do what they want to do. They have to follow someone else, It says, "Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight," And everyone is wise in their own eyes, man. Everyone claims they have some miraculous breakdown of the Bible. Everyone thinks they're correct about everything. Can't tell anyone nothing. You can't teach anyone anything, Everyone thinks that what they're doing is right, in the sight of their own eyes, like scriptures say. There's a way that seemeth right to a man, but are the ways of death, And the do what thou wilt spirit, to do what you want to do, are the ways of death, Even going into these other Israelite camps, going into these scoffers, Yakanan, you got Yashar Milwaukee, you got Shai Tried and Refined. Even going into those camps, they're calling the good evil, man. They're calling the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Great Millstone as a whole, including the doctrine, which is a true doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as evil, because it doesn't fit their description of what the doctrine or what the men of the Lord should be. And they're taking the rebellious spirit of Korah, they're taking on that spirit and projecting that as that's something good, Rebel, rebel, rebel. But that's not, man. Those are the ways of death, man. They're being prudent in their own sight, and they're ultimately, retaking on the philosophy of Esau, taking on the world and basically manifested that spirit and try to push that spirit into the truth, This is Psalms chapter 82, verse 5. "They know not, neither will they understand," right? Which is the righteousness, the truth, man. It says they walk on in darkness, Like I said, they take the light for dark and the dark for light, man. They take the darkness and they embody all of that darkness, All the foundations of the earth are out of course, right? Because everything is totally upside down at the moment, Everyone thinks good is evil, evil is good, They think doing what you want and disobeying order is being righteous, and they think order is being wicked, man. It says, "Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong drink." you know, and that's plain, man. Well, that's not plain, but it's plain to those who understand about the philosophies, you know. Men and women, you know, and children, you know, hearkening onto themselves, man, leaning onto their own understanding, you know, and not taking on the understanding of the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And that ultimately, that's pride, you know, because they're being wise in their own eyes. It's Proverbs chapter 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall, you know. So all of the pride, all of the back talking, the rebellious spirits, the we teach what we want to teach. Um, we have our own personification of the Most High. Um, it's all going to lead them to their deaths, man. You know, pursuing back to Isaiah 5. You know, because there's a reason why I keep saying woe, man. Woe meaning death and destruction. It says which justify the wicked for reward. You know, and you got a lot of guys justifying the wicked, man, justifying Esau for you know, ruling the world how he's ruling it, justifying Israel for bucking up and being rebellious against the true teachers of Israel, justifying teaching other false doctrines, you know, and take away the righteous of the righteous from him, you know, and they're ultimately trying to lead away the righteous from the Most High, man, you know, which is automatic death, you know. As a matter of fact, that brings me to my next scripture, Exodus chapter 23, verse 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report, put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness, you know. And that's shit, that's in congruence with everyone in the society today, man. You know, everyone's bearing false witness on each other, especially on the Israelites, man, particularly Great Millstone, you know, calling us rapists, calling us hate group, which, you know, in fact, you know, we are, but we're also a love group for the nation of Israel, you know. But that's besides the point, you know. Just throwing all types of false allegations on us, you know, on the men of the Lord, you know, because they perceive us as evil, they perceive us as wicked. That thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, you know. You should not follow in the ways of the world, man. Neither shalt thou speak in the cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. And you're not supposed to wrest judgment, you know, because not because, you know, there's a rich guy in the room, or because these guys, they wear the purple garments, or you like this person because he teaches the best. No, everyone's supposed to get judgment, you know. We're here in America on earth to live out our punishment, you know, and judge and live out the judgment. And being judged by the men of the Lord is part of that, you know. And the scriptures say, thou shalt not wrest judgment, you know. It says back in Isaiah 5 and, let's see, 24. Matter of fact, let me go to 2 Timothy 3 and 13 real quick. It says, yea, and all they that live godly in Yahushua shall suffer persecution, right? You know, because they're taking our good works and perceiving them as evil. So we're going to be persecuted in the sight of the world. But but evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived, you know. So the whole world is waxing worse as we speak, man. Like I said earlier, the foundations of the world are out of course, you know. It says, but continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them, right? So this is it's what do you call it? I'm losing a word for it, but this is exhorting us to keep going, man, you know, to not fall into the trap of the world, to not get your priorities mixed up, you know, to not get confused with evil being good and good being evil, you know, but understanding what the will of the Lord is and knowing what good is and discerning what good and from evil, you know, because our ministry, you know, us popping up in America, in this kingdom, you know, marks the downfall of the society, you know, which that's good to us, which that's actually good and pleasing to the Most High, but it's evil to these people, you know, it's evil to these other Israelite groups, you know, that are in the world, because they love this present world, you know, and they don't want this world to be destroyed. But in actuality, this world isn't the how do you call it, the golden city anymore, man. It's not the land of the free, home of the brave, the, you know, whatever you want to call it. You know, this isn't the Garden of Eden. This isn't heaven, you know. So it has to be destroyed. But this is the condemnation, like it says in John like it says in John chapter 3 verse 19. And this is the condemnation, that light is coming to the world, and men loved darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil, For every one that doeth evil hateth the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved. Right, they don't come to the light because they don't want to be reproved. Like I said, the whole world hates order, But the thing is, they're going to be destroyed, man. This is their condemnation, Either you're going to hear the word and come to the light, or you're going to hear the word and go back to the darkness, But he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest, that they are wrought in the Most High, And that's the 144,000, man, and the elect. Those are the only, in the multitude, Those are the only ones that are going to come back to the light. Other than that, this world is going to be destroyed by hellfire, man, And it's going to start with the nation of Israel, because they're the main nation. We're the main nation that takes that darkness for light, that loves light, loves darkness and hates the light, because 2/3 of our people have to be destroyed anyway, for this wicked society to be stomped out, because our people, we drive the wickedness, This 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 17, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High, and if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High, right? So if we're 144,000, man, and the elect, if we're scarcely going to be saved, what's going to happen to the rest of the people? What's going to happen to 2/3 of our people? What's left for them? Nothing but death and destruction and pain, man. Like scripture say, are going to be cast into the lake of fire, and there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Right, which is nowhere, Because they're going to be here on the planet Earth, ground in the powder, Wherefore let them suffer according to the will of the Most High, commit the keeping of their souls to him in well-doing, as unto the faithful Creator, right? That's the elect, man. We have to suffer this present world, knowing we're looked at as evil, knowing we're looked at as being the offscouring of the earth, man. This world we have to suffer according to the will of the Most High, that we may obtain the kingdom, So this is going back to Isaiah chapter 5 verse 24, and this is the judgment. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust. Like I said, man, they're going to be ground into powder. When those missiles hit, man, they're going to be ground into dust, because they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, which was the light, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel, because they don't like order, man. This whole world doesn't like order. This whole world is do what thou wilt, do what thou want, do what makes you feel good, Even if it's coming against the Most High and his men, Therefore is the anger of the Lord kindled against his people, and he hath stretched forth his hand against them, and hath smitten them, and his hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. So that's the in the midst of the prophecies, man, the martial law, the pestilence, the race riots, and of course the nuclear missiles. So all of this is going to come upon them, Slakia. It says, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. So the Lord is going to be angry with you until this pleasant world is destroyed, man. So that was a great milestone motivation for the week, and all of this is just to say, man, brothers that have the light, keep going. Don't let go of the light, man. Don't lose the light to go back into darkness and be a dog return to his vomit, And for the 2/3 of Israel and the other nations, man, they walk on in darkness, And for them walking into that darkness, they're going to reap the benefits of that darkness, which is destruction. So what I want to do is I give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, Daban to the apostle that was great millstone, citation to the brethren on the four corners of the earth, preaching the word, truth, and sincerity. Shalom.